بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. We're continuing in the readings of Kitaabus Siyaam from the book Bulugh al-Maram min Adillat al-Ahkam and Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani rahimahullah ta'ala. And we are trying to conclude in this hadith regards to hukm al-qubla lis-sa'im, in regards to the ruling of kissing while one is fasting. And that is the hadith that we began to discuss. And we mentioned briefly some of the points of understanding of this hadith. And Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala explained. And that is the hadith an Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha qalat كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقبل وهو صائم ويباشر وهو صائم ولكنه أملككم لإربه متفق عليه واللفظ لمسلم رواية في رمضان. The hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, may Allah be pleased with her, who said that the Prophet ﷺ used to kiss while he was fasting, and he would make mubashira with his wives while he was fasting. We'll find out what that means. As we said, some of the people translate it as cuddling, but it actually means, it is al-jima' bima dun al-farj. That it is actually the intimacy without actually utilization of the private parts. She said, but he was, in comparison to you all, the one who had the most control over his desires, the irbihi. Here we mentioned before also the al-irbi or al-araba. It is the desire, or it is the actual adu nikah, the actual private part itself. You follow, Sheikh? Anyway, moving on to the rest of the explanation of Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala in explaining this. He said, ففي هذا الحديث تخبر عائشة رضي الله عنها عن أمر خفي. In this hadith, Aisha is informing us about an affair that was hidden from us, hidden from the people, an affair that was private, in which no one knew about this إلا أزواج الرسول, except the wives of the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم. وهذا من جملة الفوائد التي أشرنا إليها فيما سبق في تعدد أزواج الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم أن ينكلن للناس ما لا يطل عليه إلا هن. And from the benefits of this is that which we've already pointed to previously concerning the multiple marriages of wives of the Prophet ﷺ, that they were relayed to the people that which no one knew except them. So here Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha أخبرت أنه يقبل وهو صائم. She informed us of a private matter. The Prophet ﷺ, he used to kiss his wives while he was fasting. And he says, وَالتَّقْبِيلُ كَمَا نَعْرِفْ لَا بُدَّ أَنَّهُ يُحَرِّكُ الشَّهْوَةِ اللهم إلا من رجل ميت الشهوة وميت الشهوة ضعيف فيها جدا. And taqbil, kissing, is something that is well known. We know what this means. And it is something that it motivates the desires of a person, except in a man in which his desires are weak, or rather he has no desires whatsoever, or his desires are very weak. فهذا لا تتحرك شهوته ولا تتحرك شهوته. And this is the person in which his desires are not motivated by kissing. أما رجل فيه شيء للنساء فإنه لا بد أن تحرك القبل شهوته إذا قبل زوجته. But as for the man who has the desires for women, then indeed kissing will be something that will motivate his desires when he kisses his wife. كذلك أيضا إذا أخذ يباشر وهو أعظم من التقبيل. And this is the point here, is very important as we looked at some of the translations of this. And it translates, of course, after kissing yubashir as being cuddling. And the Shaykh says, and this also if the man, he performs or yubashir وهو أعظم من التقبيل, and it is something that is even more of a serious affair than kissing. It is more major than kissing. لأن المباشرة هنا الجماع فيما دون الفرج وهو أشد من التقبيل إثارة للشهوة. And he says that this mubashira, this action, it is intimacy without using the private parts, and it is something that is more intense than kissing. It has more of an intense effect upon the desires. Talking about grabbing one's wife, right, being very close with the body to one's wife. قالت عائشة رضي الله عنها كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يأمرني فأعتذر فيباشرني وأنا حائض. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, she said about him in another hadith that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he used to tell me to wrap my izar around my lower part of my body, and he would yubashiruni wa ana ha'id. When I was on my menstrual cycle, he used to, we can say, this is roughly, it's difficult to translate these terms, but he was intimate in a manner with lesser than sexual desires, not utilizing the private parts with her while she was on her cycle. فهذا الحديث يفسر الحديث الذي نحن بصدده. This hadith explains the hadith that we are in the process of speaking about. ولكن هل كان الرسول ينزل? He said, but did the Prophet ﷺ, was there an occurrence that came from the Prophet ﷺ because of this? Right? Was there any occurrence? Okay? Because of the desires, did anything happen? قولها بهذا التقبيل وهذا المباشرة وهذه الجملة أرادت رضي الله عنها ألا يتصرف الناس كتصرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا كانوا لا يملكون أنفسهم. Afwan, I skipped a line, but he said that there was there an occurrence? Aisha said ولكنه كان أملككم لإربه, but he was, in comparison to you, he had more control over his desires than you are. The Shaykh, he says, يَدُلُّ عَلَىٰ أَنَّهُ لَا يَنزِلُ. This is a proof that there was nothing that occurred from him concerning anything happening due to him being intimate or kissing his wife without actual intercourse. You understand? Did anything happen? Was there an occurrence, right, that would normally do what? Break the fast. No, there was not any occurrence. Right? He says this is a proof because Aisha said وَأَنَّهُ يَمْلِكُ نَفْسَهُ بِحَيْثُ لَا يَخْرُجْ مِنْهُ شَيْءٌ. He was able to control himself to the point that nothing would come out of him. بِهَذَا التَّقْبِيلِ وَهَذِهِ الْمُبَاشِرَةِ. Based upon this kissing and this intimacy without intercourse. And this here, Aisha, she intended by saying this, so that the people would not do as the Prophet ﷺ did. Not to take this particular narration to say the Prophet ﷺ used to do this, so I'm going to do this while I'm fasting. She said, وَلَكِنَّهُ أَمْلَكَكُمْ لِإِرْبِهِ. But he had more control over his desires and his private parts than you are, so that the people would not do what the Prophet ﷺ did. إِذَا كَانُوا لَا يَمْلِكُونَ أَنفُسَهُمْ. If they are not able to control themselves in that manner. لأن الجملة تعليلية, because the statement of Aisha here, this sentence, is a sentence based upon reason, based upon what is the reason and the justification behind this. Right? Her saying this, لابد أن يكون لها أثرها. It's a must that it be the effect of this reason. فإذا كان الإنسان لا يملك إربا ويخشى على نفسه أن يجامع أو أن ينزل فإنه يجب عليه أن يتوقف ولا يجوز له أن يفعل ذلك. Because if there's an individual that cannot control his desires and he fears upon himself that if he was to kiss his wife or he was to have, as we would say, foreplay with his wife, that he would end up having intercourse with her, and this is the person, or that he would have intercourse, or if not having intercourse, there will be something that would be an occurrence from him that caused him to break his fast or have to make ghusl, then this is something, it is wajib that he stop and he refrain from this. And it's not permissible for him to do that. This is the case with most of the people. Because he has exposed siyamahu lil khatar. He has exposed his fast to danger. إِلَّا إِذَا كَانَ الصِّيَامُ نَفْلًا, unless the fast is an optional fast. فإن الصيام النفل يجوز للإنسان أن يقطعه تعمدا. Because the optional fast, it is permissible for the person to break it on purpose. أو إذا كان الصيام فرضا في حال لا يلزمه الصيام فيها. Or either the person, his fast is the type of fast that it is fard from one standpoint, but it is not being something that is binded upon him. What are we talking about here? The hal or the situation. Meaning, فَإِذَا كَانَ فَرْضًا فِي حَالٍ لَا يَلْزِمُهُ الصِّيَامُ فِيهَا فَلَهُ أَنْ يَفْعَلْ كَمَا لَوْ كَانَ فِي السَّفَرِ. For example, the fast is a obligatory fast for Ramadan, for example. But the condition or the situation he's in at that time allows him to break his fast. Like if a person was traveling. If a person was traveling during Ramadan, he can break his fast intentionally. Right? He can break his fast. The fast is fard, but he's in a hal, he's in a situation or circumstance where he can actually break his fast. The Shaykh, he says, كَمَا لَوْ كَانَ فِي السَّفَرِ فَإِنَّ الْمُسَافِرِ لَهُ أَنْ يُفْطِرَ فِي نَهَارِ رَمَضَانِ. Like the traveler can break his fast during the day in Ramadan. فَلَهُ أَنْ يُبَاشِرَ وَأَنْ يُقَبِّلْ وَأَنْ يُجَامِعْ وَأَنْ يَأْكُلْ وَيَشْرُبْ وَلَا حَرَجَ عَلَيْهِ. This person, he can kiss his wife, he can be intimate with his wife, he can eat, he can drink, he can do these things, and there is no problem with this. لِأَنَّهُ أُبِيهُ لَهُ أَنْ يَفْعَلْ, because this has become permissible for him to do this. You understand?
Not during Ramadan.
During Ramadan. If you're fasting during Ramadan and you travel, you leave here and you go to New York City, you consider yourself traveling if you leave here and go to New York City? Do you?
Yeah, consider traveling.
You consider yourself traveling?
I mean, what I think is maybe after 50 miles.
Okay. I mean, I'm asking you, it's based upon the order. What do you consider yourself to be traveling? New York City, you consider that to travel, right?
Yes.
Then it is permissible for you to break your fast if you want. If you decide you want to, right? This is the hukum.
What about like from here to DC?
Do you consider yourself traveling?
Traveling.
Do you?
What I just look is if it's like 50 miles. But from here to DC during Ramadan, I won't break my fast from here to DC. But like the Salat, like
you combine.
Yeah, so I can do that from here to DC.
If you consider yourself traveling, you don't have to break your fast. You can go from here to India during Ramadan. You don't have to break because you're traveling, but it's permissible. It's permissible, okay, for whatever reason if you want to. Long plane flights like that, sometimes you may want to break and make up that day or so until you get there and get back on schedule. Because you think that you're making this long flight and what you're doing is lengthening your fast. Right? What you're going to be doing is lengthening your fast.
And the time is different.
It's different. So perhaps it's going to... I've caught a flight where it stayed daylight the whole flight.
Yeah.
It never got night.
Yeah.
Coming back.
From here, it can be all night. So by the time you get maybe like a few hours later, it's going to be day.
Day. Yep.
So,
or I've caught a flight where I get on the flight at Fajr. Right?
Okay, if I get into the flight maybe like after Aisha, right? Mm-hmm. So by the time I get to maybe like
Nigeria,
Africa, automatically after like few hours it's going to be
daytime. Yeah.
So that means
you're going to start back fasting again.
That means
you're going to start back fasting again. Yes, very fast.
Yeah.
Or you can get a flight where it's daytime and the day lasts the whole flight.
Yes.
You just keep going towards daytime. Daytime. Yeah. Right? So this could be something upon an individual. In any case, the point we're making here is that the Prophet ﷺ used to do this while he was fasting, but this is not recommended for those who cannot control their desires. From the benefit of this hadith is jawazul hadith amma yastahya or yustahya minhu fi idhar al-haq لفعل عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها حيث تكلمت بأمر يستحيا منه. From this hadith it shows the permissibility to talk about something that normally people shy away from speaking about. Okay, something that is normally people would not speak out in the open about. But it's permissible to do this if one wants to make the truth known and that which is correct known, as Aisha radiallahu anha did in this hadith, where she spoke about an affair that was normally not spoken about. Also, this is something, of course, we know that a woman does not just commonly speak about affairs like this, but we're talking about the wife of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu relaying knowledge to the people that's important for them to know. Of course, she was a teacher, she was a scholar, she was a woman of fiqh. From the benefits of this hadith also is jawazu taqbil li-sa'im. It's also from this hadith, the Shaykh mentions that it shows the permissibility for the one who's fasting to actually kiss his wife. كيف ذلك لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يقبل وهو صائم. How is that possible and is permissible? Because the Prophet ﷺ, he used to kiss his wives while he was fasting. فإن قلت الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم عبد غفر الله له ما تقدم من ذنبه وما تأخر. If a person was to say, but the Prophet ﷺ is servant of Allah, in which Allah forgave his past and future sins, right? فالجواب أن هذا أورد على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أورده عليه عمر بن أبي سلمة حين سأل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عن القبلة للصائم. He says the response to that is that this hadith has also been mentioned and presented when Umar ibn Abi Salama asked the Prophet ﷺ about kissing while one is fasting. فقال سل هذه. The Prophet ﷺ said, ask this one, this female. فأخبرته أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يفعل ذلك. And Aisha, she informed him that the Prophet ﷺ, he used to do that. Also from the benefits of this hadith is أن من لا يملك نفسه فلا يفعل هذا الفعل لقولها ولكنه أملككم لإربيه. It shows that the person who is not able to control himself, and he should not do this act. Because she said he had the most control out of all of you over his desires. فمن لا يملك نفسه بمعنى أنه يخشى أن إن باشر ألا يملك نفسه فيجامع. What this means is that if the person fears that if he was to do this, have this type of intimacy, foreplay, so to speak, with his wife, cuddling, touching, whatever, that he would eventually lead to intercourse, this is the one who should not go near this type of action. Also from this hadith, we take أنه لو أنزل لم يفسد صومه. وجه الدلالة قال لأن المباشرة عند أكثر الناس سبب للإنزال واحتج وقال إنكم تقولون إذا قبل فقط أو باشر فقط بدون إنزال لم يفسد صومه وإذا أنزل بدون التقبيل ولا مباشرة لم يفسد صومه. This is an issue right here. I really don't want to discuss it too much. But there's a discussion. We want to not get into it too much because it's a fiqh issue that has its discussion surrounding it, and we don't have the time for it. But the issue is, if an individual did this, kissed his wife, and because of him kissing his wife, there was an occurrence that took place, right? Would this break his fast? Or if he made the mubashirah of his wife, would this break his fast? And the people say that this is something that would not break the fast. They differ over this, and their reasoning behind it was that if this was to occur in another state, like someone had a thought and it happened, it doesn't break the fast. All right? This is their reasoning behind it. And they go into a discussion about this. But in any case, that's not our discussion for this sitting. The next hadith is the hadith on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, and that is dealing with the hukum man akala aw shariba nasiyan wa huwa sa'im. The issue of the person who he eats or drinks while he's fasting out of forgetfulness. This is a common issue. People eat or drink while they're fasting and out of forgetfulness, not out of intent. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من نسي وهو صائم فأكل أو شرب فليتم صومه فإنما أطعمه الله وسقاه متفق عليه. This hadith collected by Imam Bukhari and Muslim on the authority of Abu Hurairah, who said that the Prophet ﷺ, he said, or the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, whoever forgets while he is fasting, then he eats or drinks, let him complete his fast. Let him complete his fast. Finish. فَإِنَّمَا أَطْعَمَهُ اللَّهُ وَسَقَاهُ, because it was only Allah Ta'ala who gave him food and drink. وَلِلْحَاكِمْ, in a version of this hadith collected by Al-Hakim in his Mustadrak, من أفطر في رمضان ناسيا فلا قضاء عليه ولا كفارة. In the version that Hakim he collects, the statement it says, whoever breaks his fast in Ramadan out of forgetfulness, then there is no qada. It is not upon him to make it up, nor does he have to do anything to expiate for that. Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala explaining this, he says, من نسي وهو صائم ما معنى النسيان? What is the meaning of النسيان in Arabic? What is the meaning of this term, النسيان? We find this word mentioned in the Quran, nasiya, right? We find this word mentioned in the Quran many places concerning forgetfulness, right? Yansa, tansa, nasiya, nasu, right? What does this word an-nisyan mean? In nasina aw akhta'na, right? Oh Allah, if we forget or we make a mistake, right? What does it mean? It means, he says, قال العلماء إن نسيان ذهول القلب عن شيء معلوم عنده. The nisyan, according to the ulama, they say that it is the heart being distracted, being removed or distracted away from something that is normally known to. So it's normally known. It's not something that one knows, but at this time, for some reason, was distracted away from it. Right? Was heedless of something that was normally known. He says, أما عدم العلم فهو جهل. But as for the mere issue of not having knowledge whatsoever of something, then this is jahl. Nisyan is actually knowing something, right? But at that time, as we say, forgetting about it, right? Being heedless of it or distracted away from that actual thing that is normally known. This is what nisyan normally means, right? In Arabic. إذن النسيان وارد على العلم لا نسيان إلا بعد علم. Therefore, it's nisyan is something that is connected to knowledge. There is no nisyan except, or as we translate forgetfulness, except after what? Having knowledge. He says, وَلِهَذَا قِيلْ آفات العلم النسيان. One of the afat, or the harms of knowledge, or the person that has gained some knowledge, is forgetfulness, is nisyan, is forgetting it. Nasiya يعني ذهل قلبه عن الصوم. So what this means here is that the person he knew that he's supposed to be fasting, but he was heedless or distracted away from it at that time of the knowledge and forgot about it. He was heedless of it for some reason. and he ended up eating or drinking. This is the nisyan that is pardoned by Allah Ta'ala. Then there comes in the Quran another type of nisyan. This is just a side point. And that nisyan, when it comes in the Quran at times, it means tark, abandonment. Right? فَبِمَا نَقْدِهِمْ مِيثَاقَهُمْ لَعَنَّاهُمْ وَجَعَوْنَا قُلُوبَهُمْ قَاسِيَةً. Right? يحرفون الكلمة عن مواضعه ونسوا حظا مما ذكروا به. Talking about the Jews. فَبِمَا نَقْدِهِمْ مِيثَاقَهُمْ. So because they broke their covenant with Allah Ta'ala. فَبِمَا نَقْدِهِمْ مِيثَاقَهُمْ لَأَنَّاهُمْ. We cursed them. وَجَعَوْنَا قُلُوبَهُمْ قَاسِيَةً. And we made their hearts hard. يحرفون الكلمة عن مواضعه. They distort the word from its true intent, its true purpose. وَنَسُوا حَظًّا مِمَّا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ. And here nisyan comes if we translate, and they forgot most of what they were reminded about. Meaning Yahoo. This means taraku. This means they abandoned the ayat of Allah. Right? They abandoned the ayat of Allah. You understand? As it comes in another hadith, another verse, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that the ayat came to an individual, and hereafter Allah wa ta'ala says, our ayat came to you, قَدْ جَاءَتْكَ آيَاتِ فَنَسِيتَهَا. You forgot, you made nisyan of them, right? You made nisyan of them. فَكَذَلِكَ الْيَوْمَ تُنْسَى. And likewise, on this day, you have been forgotten, meaning you have been left. You have been left, right? So this nisyan is the one that is pardoned, not like the one that the person just abandoned. So he goes on, he says, ذهل قلبه عن قول هذا الشيء مفطرا. That he forgot that this, what he was doing, this action here, is something that will break his fast. لأنه قد ينسى أنه صائم. Because he forgot that he was fasting. وقد ينسى أن هذا الشيء مفطر or مفطر. That he forgot that this thing here is something that breaks the fast. مفطر. هذا كله واقع. This is something that actually occurs. فهو إما ينسى حاله أو ينسى حكم ما تناوله من أكل أو شرب. وهذا نسيان للحكم. Either it's going to occur that the person is going to forget the condition that he's in, or the person forgot the actual ruling in which he ended up eating and drinking. And this is nisyan of the hukum. Either the person is going to forget the state that he's in, or he's going to forget the ruling of the situation, and he ended up eating or drinking. Right? This could be for someone who's a new Muslim, he doesn't fast before or something like that. In both affairs, داخل في قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم من نسي وهو صائم. The person who forgot while he is fasting. طيب. Hadith is very clear. From the benefits of this hadith is أن العلماء قالوا إنه يجوز للذي يصلي نفلا إذا عطش وهو يصلي أن يشرب ماء قليلا وهو يصلي فسامه في الشرب القليل في النفل دون الفرض. In this hadith, some of the ulama, they say it is permissible for the person who is praying an optional prayer, if he was to become thirsty, that he, while he is praying, that he can drink a little bit while he is praying. And they pardon the drinking here of a little bit for the optional prayer and not the obligatory prayer. فَقِيلَ هُمْ فِي الَّذِي يَضْعُ هَلَاوَ وَيَمَصُّهَا أَوْ سَقَرَ وَيَمُصُّهَا قَالُوا إِنَّهُ كَالْعَقْلِ قالوا لأنه جسم جامد فصار طعاما لا شرابا فشرب الماء فأله ابن الزبير وهو أحد الصحابة. And it is said to them, in that which the person, he is placed, or he had some type of sweet or some sugar or something like that, and he actually licked it, or whatever it may be, they say that it is like eating. They say because it is something that is a solid substance, so it becomes like food or drink. So I guess people say sticky, some type of sticky, sugarish stuff on one's hands. One takes and licks it. He says that Ibn al-Zubair, he's from amongst the companions, and he was from amongst the companions who actually drunk, and he said, فَأَقَلَ أَوْ شَرِبَ فَلْيُتِمُّ صَوْمَهُ كَلِمَةً فَلْيُتِمْ تُفِيدُ أَنْ بِأَنَّ الصَّوْمَ لَمْ يَنْقُص. So the statement of the Prophet ﷺ, then if he ate or he drank, then let him complete his fast. Let him complete his fast, meaning that his fast has not been broken. His fast has not been broken. Let him complete his fast until Ramadan. And that is because the statement of the Prophet ﷺ, because Allah Ta'ala has given him food and given him drink. Also taken from this hadith, there are many benefits. The benefit of the occurrence of forgetfulness upon Bani Adam. The second thing is that an-nisyan is something that the person is not to be criticized for in this particular state. Why? لِأَنَّهُ مِنْ طَبِيعَةِ الْإِنسان, because it is from the natural state of the human being. It is from the natural state of the human being. So when a human being forgets for something that is naturally for him in a state that he's going to forget, then this person should be pardoned because he is a human being. Also taken from that is that which is a result of forgetfulness, then there is no sin upon the individual. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ said, let him complete his fast. Also taken from the benefits of this hadith is bayanu rahmatillahi azza wa jal bi tark al-mu'akhadha ala al-nisyan. It explains or sheds light on, it makes very clear the mercy of Allah Ta'ala, in whereas Allah Ta'ala does not hold the person who has forgot accountable for forgetting. Also from the benefits of this hadith is أن فعل المحظور مع النسيان لا يترتب عليه شيء. Is doing something that is prohibited by way of forgetfulness. There's nothing that should be with regards to the results of this, meaning there's nothing that will cause that action to be nullified. Should cause the action to be nullified. Now, we'll get ready to stop here. We move on to the next hadith after Isha, and that is the hukum of the one who vomits while he is fasting. The one who vomits while he is fasting. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.